Assalamu alaikum everyone, it's Mutha Ansar. I have finally begun recording my narrative because inshallah I am going to I'm in the process, the very beginning stages of writing my autobiography. And so I'm recording using my voice recorder to get out, as I said, my narrative, my life story. And in doing so, it jogs the memory. It jogged the memory. Now, this is going back about 20 years. And living back home, living in Jersey, I worked at a health food store, Olive May Health Food Store in East Orange, New Jersey. I may have said that before, I don't know. But so I worked at this store, and my goodness, you just meet all kinds of people in the health store, let me tell you. A lot of them have like mental difficulties also. And of course, half of them liked me. And so, like I said, this was about 20 years ago. And I was not like living Islam at the time. I was trying to find myself as a little youngin'. You know how we are. But that's what I was doing. But I was working there, and I guess I want to say I may have met this guy at the health store. But anyway, he was a 5%er, and he like dug me or whatever, and he was always trying to like hook up, not hook up like y'all say today, but like get together and whatever. He wanted to like kick it with me and stuff. But I really wasn't feeling him like that. But for some reason, I gave him my number. And like off and on, I would see him here and there, here and there. So I remember one day he called me, and he must have, I guess he was like getting antsy with me because like I was kind of giving him, throwing him shade, giving him the cold shoulder. And as I said, he was a 5%er. And I remember him like getting mad. He's like, you better recognize God when he's talking to you, or you better recognize God when he see you, or something like that. Why he tell me that? I was like, I see God every time I look in the mirror. Oh my goodness. He was like, if he could have reached through the phone and straight choked me out, he probably would have. Oh my God, he was so mad. He was like, what you talking about? He's just so mad. And I was just like, whatever. Cause I don't know. I was just like, whatever. And I don't know if we like got into a spat or whatever. I don't know if we got into it, and I was just like, how you God? Like you can't even outrun a panther. Like how you God and you can't outdo your own creation. Like how you God? But of course he ain't called me no more after that. If had I known it was that easy, I probably would have said it a long time ago. But but it just got me to thinking and about the whole, of course from there I couldn't help but start thinking about the whole concept. Now let me say, I've been aware of the 5% nation for a very long time. I give them love, respect, whatever. Of course a lot of people, they be going crazy about the whole God thing. And I don't go crazy over it because if you've ever seen my video, A Lie in the Concept of God, you know what my thoughts on God and Godism is. Um, so like I don't have no beef about that, you know, whatever. But I don't have a beef about any of it. But what I do think about and what I do question is that whole concept. First of all, they say arm, leg, arm, head, Allah, arm, leg, arm, head, which means man is God. I got arm, leg, arm, head too. So what that mean? Of course, it just gets into that whole sexism and gender. I don't want to say gender bias because I'm not saying it as in a feministic way. because I'm not a feminist in the way that feminism was started or created in this country. I am a womanist. I do believe in women and the power of women and all that, which I won't get all into right now. But just the concept though of that, like how is that proof that you're God? First of all, as I said, I already did a video on this, so I won't get on into it. Especially it's late. It's like 10 o'clock. I'm old. I need sleep. But it doesn't even make sense. Like if you're gonna use the whole, Allah as an acronym, um, Allah could, excuse me, God could be man or woman. And furthermore, if you want to get into the whole God mighty thing, it makes sense to me if you're gonna go on that concept, then God will be a woman. Cause dude, we're the portal for every being on this planet to get here. You know, guys always say like you couldn't have no baby without sperm. You couldn't have a baby without an egg. How about that? So, Islam in itself deals with women um, as equal to men. We both have our duties, we both have our purposes, we both have our unique attributes which makes us equal. You know, equality doesn't mean matchy matchy. It means equal. You bring something to the table, I bring something to the table, and together we we bring a totality or completeness to that thing. In this case, humanism. Um, so yeah, but that whole concept is like y'all need to get over it seriously. Um, so yeah, dude, he was really upset. He was really upset with me. Um, Another thing that I'd be like tripping about with the whole 5% thing, you know what, people, all y'all who keep saying, I don't know why somebody want to be a 5%, then shut up. That like is so annoying. Like I'm not a 5% or anything like that. I've known buku 5%ers because I'm from Newark, New Jersey. And back in the day, I used to live in Hooterville, Felsburg, which is a section of Newark. And man, in the 80s, what nothing but 5% is up in there. I don't know what's going on now. So much gang banging and stuff like that. But back in the 80s, there were a whole lot of 5%ers, and I knew a bunch of them. I used to actually study the lessons also because I had a boyfriend. I had a boyfriend who was a 5%er. But they were a bunch of weed heads. It's like, how you got and you smoking joints, kid? Excuse me, they weren't even smoking the joints. They were smoking spliffs. Like they were busting open. They were busting open cigars, blunts. Put like a whole nickel bag of weed in there, a whole dime bag of weed in there, and be smoking it. All that junk y'all people be talking about, oh, it's natural. So is poop. You want to smoke that too? Just because something is natural doesn't mean it's like good for you. And taking in any inhalants. I don't care if the Indians did it, big deal. They're humans. I don't care if the Africans did it, big deal. We get so caught up in this stuff, like, well, the Native Americans did it. And mind you, my heritage is my lineage is with the Cherokee and the Mohawks and the Hokkien. But so what? They were humans. Just the same way people make mistakes now, people made mistakes back in the day too. But just taking in any inhalants, if you know anything about, anatomy and physiology, taking in inhalants, you are deoxygenating your brain. You it's not good. Of course, you're smoking out your lungs and all that sort of thing. So how you got and you getting puffed? Give me a break. How you got and you getting intoxicated? How this is not it's just ridiculous. I could see if, I can get with the whole concept of humans, men and women being as gods and goddesses. I totally get with that. If you are in that state. Now, again, if you never seen my video that I did, you won't understand what I'm saying. But as gods, not Allah. Totally different in my mind. So yeah, people I think can uplift themselves to the status in which Allah created man and women in the first place, and where I believe Islam is the purpose of Islam is to get us back to that God state. But all these people who running around talking about their gods, just stop. How you do in a club throwing back shots? That's not godlike at all. How are you God if you're not giving your all to uplift people in your community or clean up your community or give, charity to the poor? How are you God when you were totally smitten with materialistic items? How are you God when you don't even feel um, that you're worthy of anything unless you got some white dude's name on your pants, on your sneakers, or on your car? You're inadequate. You're not godlike. So, I just wish brothers and sisters who are going around, calling themselves God, because that kind of annoys me. It's like, and mind you, I'm old. I've been around this stuff for a mighty long time. So at this point, it's just like, whatever, right? So I would love to see them, you know, um, actually uplift themselves to that status, as I would love to see myself, me lift myself up to that status. It's always, it's a work in progress, no doubt. But I guess the first step is actually acknowledging, understanding, realizing that you're not there, so that you can, start to move towards that. I don't know. I wonder what dude is doing who I had that conversation with. Hope you're alright. Hope he's not, hope he's in a good place. Um, but that was just very interesting to me, that, that thought and remembering that day. That was crazy. And I don't think I've ever seen him since. I should have done it a long time ago. Peace, all. Good night.